Hi, welcome back. Today I am getting ready to go shopping with a friend, and I am just thinking about what I don't need to buy, which is pretty much everything. I don't need to buy anything, but it's like post-Christmas sales and she wants to go out, so that is why we're going shopping. But I also wanted to talk about the things that I am doing to prevent myself from buying more things, particularly eyeshadows, because I invest in the hobbies that I'm interested in, and makeup has been obviously it's been a hobby of mine for a really long time, but since getting a job in the cosmetic industry, makeup has become something that I need to slow down my purchases of, because while I use makeup every day, I don't need a different palette for every day, which is basically what it's gotten down to. Like, I have a different eyeshadow palette for every day of the month. I wanted to show you my little spreadsheet because these are all of my eyeshadow palettes, and I've started kind of marking every day which ones I actually use. And if you want to see more of that, I could probably do a video on that later. But yeah, so it got to a point where I really needed to take inventory of how many eyeshadows I owned and why I don't need to buy more. Again, this is sunscreen. I have to put it on, even though it is an overcast day in Chicago. You can't just skip SPF, okay? We need to preserve the skin. Anyway, so yeah, but in terms of like previous hobbies I still enjoy those activities, but I've slowed down on buying things. Like, I did just recently buy a new yoga mat and some yoga blocks because if you watched my last video, you saw that I took a class where we did like an hour of yoga at the beginning of every class time, and I really enjoyed that, and I have been doing yoga pretty much every other day ever since that class ended. So during this winter break, I'm doing like a lot more yoga, and I needed more equipment. So I did buy more yoga equipment. I'm really into plants, and so I've purchased a lot of like soil and new pots and plant stands and like the trays that go under the pots. Like, I've purchased a lot. I've invested in those plants, which again is like fine. We love that. I have kind of a green thumb, at least for that particular species of plant, but you know, that's not like a shopping addiction. I don't just buy a lot of plants. The plants that I have, they reproduce, so I end up buying more pots, and maybe that is a problem. But anyway, I have a lot of plants. So I'm using today the Glam Mood Golden Hour by Revolution Pro. It was really inexpensive, but it's kind of just like a nice warm neutral palette, which we love. I used to buy a lot of books to the point where I was buying books faster than the rate that I would read them. And so I have not done that recently. I think it's just because I'm in school and I don't want to over purchase books because I'm reading textbooks for the majority of the time. But I did, just buy all the books that my therapist recommended to me. But beyond that, I've stopped purchasing books, which is good. I've never really had, well, I shouldn't say I've never had an issue with buying clothes. Part of the reason I wear all black is so that I don't feel the need to purchase multiple items of one, like, clothing item. So I don't need multiple sweaters. I just need like a couple of black sweaters and like a few, like 2 or 3 black hoodies, and I only wear leggings. So, but I don't need to like have an entire wardrobe of different colored things. So that makes it easier for me to just like, no, I don't need this item of clothing because I already have something pretty much exactly like that. So for me, that helps me like limit the clothing that I have to purchase. But even shoes at the beginning of this semester, like for working full time, I literally only needed like 2 pairs of shoes. I just had a pair of like more casual sneakers, and then I had a pair of heels, and that was it. Because just depending on my mood, I would wear one or the other. But now going back in school and then working a job where I'm like standing a lot and walking around campus, and then having it be in Chicago where the weather changes and you're outside a little bit more walking to and from class, like I needed more shoes. So then I bought a lot more shoes. I just thought of another hobby that I have invested in recently, which is painting. I don't know if you've seen any other videos on my channel where I've talked about my paintings, but I did just recently buy some new painting supplies as well because I was out of certain things. So it's like I purchase things that I use up. I think the one thing that I will never use up is all of the eyeshadow that I have, because like even if I were to wear a certain palette like every day, it takes a long time to hit pan on a palette, let alone like use the entire palette up. So I need to stop purchasing them. I think it's also though that like the makeup industry, you know, it's very sales driven, and so it's like every season there's new launches from all of these different brands, and you want to try different formulas, and you're trying to find your holy grail of like a particular, you know, shade or whatever, but not shade, but you know, color scheme. But it's like at some point you don't need another holy grail. You have one, you've already found one, and now you just have to use it. I've been watching a lot of makeup YouTube recently because December Vlogmas, like YouTubers get paid higher AdSense up until Christmas because of, you know, the shopping season. But I've been watching a lot of makeup YouTubers, and they're doing all their like end of the year reviews, and they're going over all of the things that they tried that year, and then they're doing like declutter videos, and they're getting rid of like half of their makeup collection because it's stuff that they don't use. But I'm watching them, and granted, they get paid for reviewing all of this makeup. Like it's not that this is just their personal hobby. Like it's their job to review makeup. But these are girls that like go through the one girl got rid of 100 eyeshadow palettes. I own total in my collection like 36 palettes, which for me is a lot. At most, if I were to use every single one of them, the most that I would get out of them is like 12 times a year. That's pathetic. But watching these girls like either throw out because the palettes had been in their collection for so long that it was getting old and it was starting to smell, or just getting rid of them because they don't use them anymore, or keeping them just because they liked the packaging but that they weren't going to actually use the shadow, they just liked how it looked in their collection. It's like, girl, you got problems. And that has made me kind of reflect on my own self as like, okay, we need to stop this while we're not even ahead, while we're not as far behind as we could be. So I don't know, I think something that I may have touched on in my coming back to YouTube video, where I was talking about like watching like makeup videos, it makes me want to shop more, and it also like caters not just YouTube ads, but like pretty much every ad that I encounter when I'm online or on social media. It's all makeup based because they know how to get me. They know how to get me to buy more makeup. So while I really enjoy consuming that content, I also have to be aware that like I really need to stop buying more makeup. Like I don't, even though I enjoy watching people review makeup palettes, and I kind of, to a degree, need to know about certain brands for my job. I need to have it set in my mind that I'm not buying any more eyeshadow. So I think I'm going on, well, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think that this is something that is like a reasonable goal for me, because I think it is, to go on an eyeshadow no buy for 2022. That might be like a good, attainable, measurable New Year's resolution that has nothing to do with like improving myself or whatever, but just something that I can say like, I'm not buying eyeshadow this year. I have enough. I can make, you know, the spring collection. I could find, you know, whatever launch for a particular season, I could probably find those colors in my collection already. I don't need this just because it has butterflies on the package, or just because, you know, it's from a particular brand that has a great formula. Like, I already have those colors. I can make it work. And if you want to see me do any sort of like project pans or just like makeup I've gone through, I actually keep all of my empty containers for a particular period of time. Like, I've kept all of the empties that I've had for this semester, and I might do a video on all the products that I used up over the last few months since moving to this dorm room. But I think that might be interesting. But I like those kind of videos, and I like watching those videos because it motivates me to use up what I already have. And in general, I am really good at sticking to that. Like, I only have one body lotion open at a time, and I only have one foundation and one, you know, face powder and one contour kit that I use every day. Like, I don't need more than that. So I'm pretty good at only using what I need from that. But in terms of like, it's just, it's eyeshadow. It's not even lip products. Like, I'm pretty good at minimizing my lip collection. Like, I have all the colors and all the textures that I need and that I regularly use. And so I am not even really tempted by new like lip makeup launches. It's just that darn eyeshadow, and I need to cut it off. I need to cut it off. All right, what do we need? Do we need anything else? I don't know. It's fine. It's a good makeup look. And I was gonna do, my skin has been breaking out terribly. I don't know if it's just because of the masks or the weather changes or all of the above. Is it my hormones? We just don't know anymore. We simply do not know. All right, I guess I'll just put some powder over this sunscreen to really set it, make me not feel greasy. And this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. Very inexpensive, and it works like any other powder. I can understand having like backups of things, like when eyelashes are on sale or nail packs are on sale. Like, I understand getting multiples of that. I even have like backups of all my skincare and like shampoo and like all my other hair care products. I think I get having backups. I just don't understand how you can have multiple of those items open at a time and like bouncing between them. I don't know. I bounce between face washes depending on the day. Basically what I'm saying is, like, why have more than like 2 or 3 of things open at a time? You basically only use that. So let's not do more. Let's not go overboard this year. 2022 is the year of using up what we already have. I think that's a good goal, right? All right, I don't want the rest of this video to just be like makeup. I want to show you where we shop. So let me just finish up my makeup really quick, and then I'll take you shopping with me and my friend. Oh, one last thing. I'm using this mascara, but I hate it. I hate it. It's the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. And yes, it goes on super well, and it feels like a really luxurious volumizing, volumizing. Anyway, it feels like a really great product, but the transfer of this mascara is unreal. Like, I look like I have not slept in years by like 3 hours into wearing this makeup. It is all under my eyes. So that's why I powder under my eyes, so that when the transfer gets on it, then I can kind of wipe it away without having to pull at my under eye skin. But you know what? That is just not functional, and that is not okay. So I'm using this because, again, going off of my whole tangent of trying to use up what I already have, but I will never, I got this for free at a job event, whatever, but I got this for free, and I will never purchase this. And I will never recommend it to anyone. So Perversion, Urban Decay, no. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Okay, so I finished with the Revolution Pro Marilyn Monroe lip set in red. I really like this lipstick, and it is mattifying without drying, and it just like dries down really well, and it stays, and we love it. Anyway, so this is the finished look. I'm gonna get dressed, maybe have some lunch, and then we're going shopping. We